Hello guys, it's me again, still talking about this fabulous place. I just left from one friend and folks that I know to some more friends and folks that I know. And right now, I'm standing here at Sam Carr, born and raised around Friars Point, Lula area. I met Sam in the 70s. I was working with a band called the Funk Thumpers that James Super Chicken Johnson, Wesley Junebug Jefferson, Dave Porter, and Emmett Deal. And we used to play the same clubs, but I didn't know them then. But with us being young bloods out there with the old timers, Super Chicken told me about his uncle, Big Jack Johnson, played with the Jelly Roll Kings, Sam Carr, Frank Frost. At that time, it was just a three-piece band, but I learned later that they used to have a six-piece band. But when I met him, they done downsized, and some people done went off solo on their own, like Robert Junebug Walker and Lil Johnny Shaw. I knew those people, but I didn't get to befriend them like I befriend Big Jack, Frank, and Sam. Sam was the one I met first. He come over to Johnny Blue Den over on Martin Luther King Drive, better known as 4th Street at the time. And he said, boy, I like the way you play. He said, I got a young band that I play with when Frank and all us not on the road. He said, I want you to come meet them. He said, I'm gonna come by and pick you up Sunday and let you meet the guys I got playing with me, playing this new music. And so I gave Sam my address and told him where I live. And just like he said, he was there early Sunday evening, because they had no Sunday evening jukes that they used to play all over town, all over the county, and out of the county too. So I got in the car and we rode, and that's where I met Lonnie Shears, Big Jerry Parnell, and Benny. I think Benny's last name was Jackson. Benny was on bass, Parnell was on drum, Lonnie was on guitar. But Sam liked the way I played rhythm guitar, so he wanted me to put the rhythm behind Lonnie while Lonnie sang and played the lead. And that was the beginning of a long-lasting friendship. And sorry to say, hey, Sam was more like a brother. He was more like an older brother, because we spent a lot of time. I had a lot of ventures with him. I met Junior Kimbrough and Robert Burnside and all them through Sam up there in Hill Country back in the 80s. He come by one evening and say, hey boy, I'm gonna take you over somewhere and see if you can play some music like you ain't never heard before. I said, Sam, I don't know, I be listening to a lot of music. He said, yeah, but you ain't heard this kind of music before. And when I got over there, he was right. I had never heard that before. And today is known as Hill Country. This was in about 1981 or 82. I had just moved back to Clarksdale because I was living around Jonestown. Then I moved my family to Clarksdale because I just got married, young man, getting a family started. And we got over there about 8:30, 9 o'clock. They were sitting around in Junior Kimbrough Lit Club, and I'm waiting on him to play. We sat there for 2 hours. It's 10 o'clock. I'm still sitting there waiting on him to play. They sitting around drinking. I guess they were juicing up, oiling up to get started. And I said, Sam, when they gonna start? And Sam went and asked Junior when they gonna start. He said, oh, we don't ever start before 12. And I said, Sam, man, you should have got that information. I said, I got to be back at work in the morning at 8 o'clock. I said, they're going to start at 12. I ain't going to be able to play very long. And sure enough, they didn't tune the guitars up to almost 12. But by 12 o'clock, they started hitting, and looked like people was coming out the woods from everywhere. And I never seen so many people up in a little small hole in the wall. And it was music I'd never heard in my life, but they was dancing, they was juking, and they was having a wonderful time. And about 2:30 going on 3, I told Sam, I got to go. I said, man, I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. We got a load coming in. I was working for Being Leeway at that time. And he said, all right then. And we told Junior that we're going to have to go. So I didn't get a chance to try to play with them because they was just getting started and everything was really cooking when I knew I had to get on back to the house. But all the experience I heard about meeting different peoples in different bands, different regions, I met them through this man, Sam Carr. I met Frank Frost. We got to be good friends. And when Jack didn't want to take off from work in '82, and Sam didn't want to stop and go on the tour, Michael Franks called CV Vills. At that time, CV was playing with Super Chicken and myself. We had changed the name of the band to Johnson Production. And they wanted to know if we want to go and work as sub fill-ins for Sam and Big Jack. CV was going to take Sam's place, and I was going to take Big Jack's place. So CV the one talked me into it, because I really didn't want to go with my kids being so young and small. It was a 3-week tour. And we went, and that's when I really got to know Frank. And because Jack and I had already got close from being around Super Chicken, and we started fishing a lot of Saturday mornings and Saturday evenings, fishing for grinners and cats. And hey, we had a good time. He was taking me to places I didn't even know existed in the Mississippi Delta. But when you get with people that know the area better than you do, then you'll find new discoveries of what you don't know. But that was a 3-week tour. We toured the whole Western Europe, and we had a ball. And if you come to this Blues Museum in Clarksdale, Mississippi, for you that's just tuning in, they got so many remarkable exhibits of people that I never met but heard so much about from these guys, and just seeing films from the past. And maybe you can close your eyes and the spirit can just lead you as you stand in this place, and maybe you can visualize meeting some of these peoples in the flesh and get to know them for the people they were by the exhibit that they got wrote for their biography. They couldn't tell you everything, but what they do tell you is amazing. So come to Clarksdale Delta Blues Museum. If you're ever in the area of 20 miles or more closer, this is the place to stop